Hello, everyone. I think we might be live. Are we live? Let us know in the chat if we are. Seb, how are you?
Hello. I think we might be live. Maybe. Who knows? We'll find out. It'll just be me and you, buddy. We'll just talk for an hour.
I love that. I'd be doing that for a social anyway, right? I'd be trying to book time in with you to have a chat because we've not spoken in so long. So,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
I think we might be live. Yes, Keith says late. Keith, we're so late.
We're not late. The match was early.
Yeah, exactly. It's 4:30. Kev's here. Yes, we are live because Kev's here and he said afternoon all. Kev was at Fest on Friday. Nuclear Atoms is in. Good stuff. Kev, we haven't missed any goals. You'll be pleased to know. Kev is always the go-to for goals. Guys, did you know this was coming up? Let me know because as far as I'm concerned, there's been no tweet, has there? I mean, I've not been on Twitter. I've been just making sure it works so good. FPL captain's been helping us out a lot. Thank you. He says it's looking and sounding good. It's 0-0, by the way, Spurs Man City. We're 27 minutes in. You've not missed a great deal. I mean, you've probably been watching on. Now you can watch on mute. Even better, right? Bergwijn's in the box. Plays it to Son. Oh, it's going to go out for maybe a free kick. Guys, let us know what you think about the graphics. I know you've been waiting, and I'm sorry for that. But at the same time, you're now getting so much cooler graphics. Do you like them? We've got the starting 11s. We've got who we think is playing where. We've got the current points. We've got the current bonus points. We've got all the scores from the weekend. And I'm hoping when things change, I don't need to do anything. This is like idiot proof, therefore it's Janny proof. Seb,
Idiot proof. We'll see. We'll see. But hopefully worth the wait. Yeah, we've just been setting this up. So hopefully so.
yeah, exactly. Seb, what we thought of the game so far? Because you have been watching, haven't you? Kind of.
Yeah, I've been watching out of corner eye while messing around on this stuff with you. Decent enough. City mostly have had the ball in Tottenham's third, which you'd expect. Tottenham on the break a few times. Son has been involved, but nothing too special, obviously on set pieces. Kind of maybe just waiting for something to properly happen. City had a free kick early on from sort of tight on the left, which Grealish won, obviously, and Gundogan went just over the bar. But
Yep.
other than that, I think that's kind of been it. Of Grealish and Gundogan's arguably been the more advanced, but other than one ball he tried to get on the end of, I'm not sure either of them have had all that many chances.
Okay, fine. And Grealish, in terms of position, Seb, from the lineup, we know he's playing in kind of the middle three, or is he drifting really wide left? I mean, as he's got the ball now, he's wide left, but has he
I
been in
was
the middle three?
So he's probably playing down that sort of left, obviously left hand side of the pitch, maybe more of the left channel. He's going to start in the middle when the ball is at the back or when Tottenham have got it. He does tend to tuck in beside Fernandinho,
Yeah,
and Gundogan was staying a bit further forward, actually on the right hand side.
yeah,
But he's very much going to operate on his left, isn't he? As you just said there, it's where he goes. Whether you start him in the middle, left back, probably even on the right wing, he would come left and work those areas that he's familiar with.
yeah. So I'm pretty happy with our new graphics, and the only slight change to what you see might be you swap Grealish and Gundogan, because as we know, Grealish likes the left channel. Gundogan also usually plays in that left channel, and KDB in the right channel. But obviously, without KDB, Gundo very happily moves slightly further over. And
Yeah.
as you said, Grealish is always wants to drift left. I think that the heat maps from last season, and which by the way you can see on Scout as a member, and I'm sure you guys, most of you are members. If you're not, check it out. Heat maps are one of my favourite things, and the touch maps. Grealish and Watkins last season, yes, they both play different positions. They take up exactly the same areas on the football pitch, pretty much, or they did for Aston Villa. And I thought it was really interesting with Danny Ings moving. It's like, yeah, Grealish might be in a front two, he might be out wide left, but wherever he plays, we know real drift. And same with Grealish in this Man City team. Are we giving Tottenham a hope today, Seb? Have they got a chance? I mean, 25%-ish possession so far. Son and Bergwijn and Lucas up top. There is firepower there. It's a team that looks set for a counter-attack, and they'll get opportunity to counter-attack. But will they get the ball off City?
That's exactly it, isn't it? I mean, probably not. I mean, yeah, they're going to have more of a chance than, say, a Burnley, but
Yeah,
less of a chance than Chelsea, obviously. I guess they're missing one of the key weapons in this sort of fixture last year, which was Kane being able to find Son. Son
yeah,
will try, do his thing, still go on the counter, convert small chances, which he's good at. Speaking of which, he's in the box here, probably a bit wide, just looking to cut it back. City have got numbers back, and I think this might peter out to nothing as Tottenham work on the left-hand side and go backwards a bit. But it's that, isn't it? It's just what we saw there. They're looking to try and break and find Son with a one-on-one or something like that. But the
yeah,
key weapon last year was Kane providing those chances. So I
yeah,
don't know about that.
yeah. I reckon. I reckon Son's still going to be a very good asset in the next couple of weeks, but in this fixture, I guess you don't give him much hope. But saying that, he's got a pretty good record against City. But yeah, what do you reckon of Son as a number 9, Seb? We don't think Kane's going to go. I don't think Kane's going to go now. But
Do you not? With him not being in the squad at all today.
I know. Yeah, he didn't even travel, did he? Before today, I had him at 20%. Maybe not being in the squad today, I've now got him at 25-30%.
Yeah.
But what's your take?
I mean, to sort of not answer the question in skillful fashion, I genuinely wonder if Kane is the right signing for City. Like, don't get me wrong. Yeah. Obviously, he's an incredible striker and he's brilliant and he will be amazing for them, score a lot of goals. But he'll do it for a few years and then either they'll move him on if they want to get some money out of him, or, he'll end up sort of getting older and retiring there and still being great, I'm sure. But I wonder if for a similar amount of money, Erling Haaland was the one that they should be chasing. Even for a bit more money. He's not quite as good, but he's good enough. And you get a decade out of him. Yeah. That feels a bit more like a City signing to me, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, we know with Haaland now, though, that they've kind of tested Dortmund. Dortmund have been tested with Chelsea. There's been big bids and they've said no to it. So you've got to think they've got to go and spend more than... I mean, rumours are Chelsea was sort of bidding around the 120, 130 mark. So if those rumours are true, then maybe you need 140, 150 to get Haaland. And City go, I can get him at 60 million next summer. So maybe they just go a year forward.
I mean, well, I was going to say, do you get both him and Kane? But yeah, maybe that's it. You wait a year, you play Torres, KDB at false 9, whatever it is, and wait a year. And presumably Chelsea are out of that race now. So that would maybe leave, maybe Man United, maybe not though. Who else? PSG, they always like signing someone, maybe a Madrid.
Maybe Madrid by next year, yeah.
Although they're probably looking for Mbappe, I think.
Yeah, he's such a Madrid player, Mbappe. I'd love that. Yeah. City got the ball now, but yeah, I mean, looking at how Spurs are setting up, it is a 4-3-3, but the midfield three aren't going to get forward at all. Oh, Dele is in there, but it's a very nice defensive shape, almost like a sort of Christmas tree formation with the shape.
It's almost a 5 in midfield when they're defending here across the middle, isn't it? Where like Son stays up front, but everyone else has just dropped in to try and match Man City, if not outnumber them.
Yeah, I think Son's probably thinking, if I can get on the end of a long ball with a race with an Ake, maybe target Ake, who's not slow, but maybe positionally not the best, he might think he can get in. But other than that, I don't see how they're going to create too much. Cancelo's doing what he always does at right back, drifting into the number 8 channel. I love that.
Oh, Jack Grealish in the box here. Has it? I mean, never really on. Probably going for a shot, I think, gets blocked. Someone who's not been that involved so far is Mahrez. Although, I say that, all it takes is one little magic moment from him. But the eyes are probably on what? Son and Mahrez for FPL today, you'd say?
Yeah, I mean, have you got any... and maybe a few Gundogan owners and a few Man City defenders?
Yeah, quite possibly. Although John Stone's not starting, which possibly might have been the most popular City. I mean, maybe Diaz. But John Stones at 0.5 cheaper, I think, was probably an option for a few people.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I've got John Stones in a couple of my fan teams for that exact reason. It's 0.5 cheaper, and you go into it going, he's probably going to play 8 in 10 and Diaz 9 in 10. Therefore, is it worth the saving? Maybe, and perhaps more of a goal threat.
Oh, speaking of which, Mahrez just goes very close. Just as I say, I've not seen him do much. Sterling on the left-hand side, cuts it back across. Genuinely, I thought that was in. I was waiting for the net to bulge. So he's kind of scuffed it wide.
You don't like it when I say he should score from that, but he should score from that, should he? I haven't seen the replay, but he should definitely
looking at how he ends up on the floor. I'm guessing
he loses his footing or something. Does he?
It's not easy, is it? It's bouncing up to him and he's stretching. It's one of those there's no one really around him, considering it's right in the middle of the box. And it's a nice position, but the way he has to approach it, it's behind him, he's stretching, he ends up on the floor. I mean, go down the park and try and do that. You probably won't hit the target most of the time.
Yeah, but I expect Mahrez to.
Very true.
I mean, he's 8 to 10 yards from goal. He's in front of the penalty spot. He's central. It is on the bounce. He's also on his favoured left foot. Yeah, it's a little bit behind him. Maybe I'm harsh saying he should score from that, but he should definitely hit the target from that. The XG on that's 0.5, 0.6, Seb. Do you reckon?
Oh, that seems a bit high. Maybe a bit lower, I'd say. Yeah. I mean, I don't know perfectly. And don't get me wrong, it's a good chance. Yeah. But I wouldn't put it down as, well, he should score, right? Which, you'd probably say is over 0.5, give or take.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think the you've got to score from that comments should only ever be valid when the XG is probably 6 or 7 or above, maybe. Like a penalty, right? We know the XG on that, 0.78, is it, Seb?
7.6, 7.8, something like that, yeah.
So you should score from a penalty. So I'm going to say anything more than 0.78 is the you should score comment, maybe. So I take
fair.
it back on Mahrez, but he's definitely got to hit the target.
Do you see Antonio managed to underperform his XG again?
Did he? I didn't. I didn't
Obviously,
see
he missed a
that.
penalty, so that was, a big part of it is missing a penalty. But I did quite enjoy that. First game of the season, Antonio is underperforming XG once more.
Yeah. I'm just posting on Twitter because I don't think Scout have, so I'm tagging Scout to be like, can you please retweet this? I don't have a link because I'm on my mobile and it's too rushed, but I'm just going to say, come find the Fantasy Football Scout YouTube channel, which surely everyone has in their favourites, right?
To be fair, you're a bigger name than Scout anyway, Jenny. So.
I mean, yeah, clearly with my 15,000 followers compared to their 200,000, but we'll take it.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah. Also, mine are all a year old, so they're all fresh. They're all still on Twitter. The new graphics are mustard, is what I'm saying.
I'd say they're more of a green, but fair enough.
Oh, I love that. Damn, I missed out on that in joke. I could have put that in the tweet. Maybe there's your retweet, Seb. What do we think? El Fozzy says as Delhi as a midfield option. Seb, he is 6.5 this year. If he starts getting a sniff, he can finish. He can get into those Frank Lampard positions, midfield runs. We know he can score goals. He could be an absolute steal if he stays in this team. But my thinking is when Kane comes back in, it will be Delhi who misses out, even though they play different positions.
Yeah, that's reasonable. If Kane does come back in, possibly is the first one to drop. I guess you're not dropping the deeper of the midfielders. You'd still need two wide players. Obviously, I guess Son. I mean, you've got Bergwijn and Lucas today, so
could be Bergwijn out.
What you'd maybe have Son behind or Son wide. So yeah, Delhi could keep his place, but I don't know. From a fantasy perspective, I just want to. I'd be all over him if I just see something that made it gave me permission, if you know what I mean. Yeah. His history is quite a while ago now. I need to see something now, whether that's him scoring or assisting would be great, but just the numbers or a sign of him looking like that player, and I'd be all over it. But even now, I'm not sure. Today's probably not the match for it, though.
Yeah. When you say you need some sort of signal, Seb, you don't mean you need to see a goal by that. You just need to see 90 minutes and a good 7 out of 10 performance, right?
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
Probably comparisons this weekend. I know Benrahma got a goal and an assist, but Buendia, I didn't catch the Aston Villa match, but I have Buendia. Doesn't look like he was all that involved. I'll happily hold for one more week for Newcastle.
Yeah.
But you look at Benrahma, I know he got a goal and an assist, but he was just up there involved in everything they were trying to do attacking wise as well, along with Antonio. So someone like Dele Alli, again, today's not quite the match for it. But even if he doesn't get a goal or an assist, I want to see signs that they're coming, whether that's in the numbers or whether just watching him being involved in the right areas of the pitch.
Yeah. Loads of the guys on the chat are getting involved. Thank you, everyone. Rubber Ducky's with us. Matt says, how bad with Newcastle? We'll get to that at half-time. We'll talk about West Ham, Newcastle. Sar's looking great and flirting with double-digit returns, says Kingdom FC. Yeah, good point. Graham Wood says Forest Green. I'm guessing you're talking about the colour of the graphics, not mustard, but Forest Green. We love our new graphics. I think they look brilliant. Some are even saying that they're watching now because of Twitter telling us you're watching, says Cherie MC. I'm guessing that maybe you saw my tweet. Good to know. Anyone got a Son wide, says Kev. Okay, looks like we might be about to see a chance fairly soon. So Kev was with us on, in fact, I'm going to throw to Seb because you're going to see it 2 seconds before me.
I was just looking. I've just missed it. I've just seen it go wide. I was looking to retweet your tweet. I mean, Son's appealing. I'm guessing he wants a corner there, so maybe a goal kick has been given. It looks like he's just going to cross the post.
I don't think the keeper touches it, but maybe it comes off a defender. But it's edge of the box. It's a really nice break. And we said if Spurs get a sniff, it's on the counter. And Lucas carries the ball well and he finds Son. Brilliant first touch from Son. Edge of the box, left foot, right foot. It turns on his right. Just past the post.
It comes off Cancelo, I think.
Does it?
That's definitely a corner. It comes off Cancelo, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think the keeper may have had... Mahrez is in? No. Maybe not. No. Shot. Blocked.
On that Son chance, Bergwijn kind of sort of went left around, I guess, to try and take a player away.
Yeah.
I wanted him to go right. It looked like, just watching the replay, Son could have just laid him... Son could have laid him through. So I think we'll see another replay of it here.
Is he... what footed is Bergwijn?
He's right-footed as far as I'm aware.
So you'd think he would have gone right as well if he's worried about not wanting to take a shot on that foot.
I mean, I guess he was trying to open it up for Son, which is fair enough. But I would have thought if he just kept going, he could have been laid through on goal there.
Although maybe he's trained long enough with Son to go, there's no way I'm getting this ball anyway. So what I should do is just try and take the defender away because he's not passing.
That may be fair enough, yeah.
I mean, if that was Harry Kane, he probably slips him in. Probably does slip him in. Even though Harry Kane, we know, will love a shot, but also we know what Kane's assists are like.
I was thinking about that the other day. You know, the whole like Harry Kane selfish or not thing.
Yeah.
He's selfish when he can shoot himself. When he can't, he's very happy to try and find a pass to someone else and is very, very good at it.
Yeah.
But he's kind of in between. Like I wouldn't, if he's in front of goal, he's not looking for the assist.
Yeah.
But because he drops deep so often and has a great pass on him, then that's where the assists come from.
Yeah, and the assists have only, in terms of numbers, have only really clocked up from last season. Before that, the assists weren't really a thing, even though he did used to still at times come deep. I guess under Mourinho, he was dropping a little bit deeper more in number 10.
And Son had like the most,
yeah.
I was going to say the most clinical. I'm not sure if that's true, but going through the centre, he seemed to have pretty much the best goal scoring season of his career, both in terms of actual, he just puts it over the bar, both in terms of actual goals and also just his overperformance on XG, which obviously means Kane is going to get more assists from fewer chances.
Yeah, I'm just looking at our graphics. We've got bonus points on show. Don't read too much into them yet. We like to always, it's lovely to have them and we want them from minute 1. But when we talk bonus, usually from sort of 60 minutes onwards, you get a good gauge because you get all the appearance points, the clean sheet points go on. Obviously, when goals and stuff go in, everything changes. But yeah, just so you know, the bonus points are on show. So Mendy in gold is currently, I believe, top of the BPS. And I'm going to check that just to make sure our bonus are working nicely. We're on like a minute lag with bonus. So, you know, it could be subject to change. How are you guys all doing for points, by the way? Let us know. Like, I'm guessing there's quite a few on over 100 now. Seems like FPL Twitter is full of everyone over 100. But obviously, a lot only post when they're on good scores. But if you had Bruno and Salah and captained one of them and then picked up a goal or two elsewhere, you're probably in and around 100. I've got Mendy on 18 BPS. He is top. Don't know how he's got 18 nice. BPS.
Just crossing in it, that's what he does, I guess.
Yeah, that's high though for this. Yeah. Considering there's been no sort of chances, he's not created any chance. But yeah, I guess he's been putting the ball in. And he's very advanced, Mendy, today. He's played got quite a lot of minutes in pre-season, Mendy, and I don't know if we can always say that about him. So yeah, he could be. I don't know if he's ever going to be Pep's number 1 first choice left back, but he might get more minutes this year.
He was at one point, and he got injured, and then when he came back, he wasn't quite the same player. Yeah. Then he got injured again.
But that was before Cancelo was there, and before Zinchenko had kind of gone.
He was probably, you know, when Pep first took over. Yeah. Was it his second season they signed Mendy, and he didn't have the fullbacks he wanted, so he ended up like inverting them.
Yes.
Mendy was like that first signing of like, this is the type of wing back I want in my team. And you know, at the time, I remember having him FPL and he was being brilliant. Like every week, he was looking like getting an assist.
Yeah, you're right. And then the injury, and he was out for a long time, and then came back, had a few poor games. And last season, there was definitely a bit of trust issues there with Mendy. I remember him playing against Chelsea, and he slipped when Pulisic came in for the goal on the counter. I think it was in the league. Tuchel had only been there a few weeks, I think. But off the back of that, I just thought, he's going to struggle to get in the team again. I don't think he played much after that. And Pep's actually on the touchline throwing his hands in the air like, Mendy, what have you done? YouTube that Pulisic goal after this, guys, because you'll see the slips. Rubber Ducky 110 points, Louis 102 with Mahrez, Nahal 106, El Fozzy 98 with Gundo, Kingdom FC 97 with Gundo, Kev not enough, Bruno, Kev gutted for you. Although I'm sure you're gonna get points elsewhere, and I love the fact you went bold with Bruno. No. We all flirted with it, mate. You just went through with it. So, you know, Seb was close. I got it down to like 2 drafts, which was the Fernandes one and a no Fernandes one, and I went with Fernandes in the end. Just you actually are you? I'm guessing most will say yes to this in the chat as well. You're someone that makes several drafts, Seb, because I had 1 draft all pre-season. I don't make drafts, but is that what you were doing? You were making drafts, choosing your favourite, and then deleting as you go.
What I kind of tried to do was, rather than, you know, having a team which you just tinker with up until the last minute, then think of a player you hadn't thought of with 5 minutes to go and rip up your whole team.
Yeah.
What I tried to do was build, say, 3 or 4 drafts. So one that had like room for a big expensive striker. Obviously didn't use that one in the end because there wasn't really one. One that had a bunch of premiums, one that didn't have Fernandes, one that was like big at the back.
Yeah.
And then just try and choose between that and the last minute. So of course, a few things did change, like Samakis coming in. effectively instead of Jota in one of my drafts, and then I had him in my final one.
Yeah.
But instead of then, worrying about a player here, a player there, and, second guessing myself at the last minute, I just had to pick between drafts.
Yeah.
And so I went with Fernandes one in the end.
Yeah, fair enough. And
What about you?
Yeah, I just make one, and then I don't delete. I guess I just make transfers and resave it, which is funny because pre-season I obviously was starting to plan about a month before, and just it must have been on like version 82 by the end. But there was never a draft and a screen grab and another draft and a screen grab. But I know when I wildcard, I make drafts. It's really funny. I never make them pre-season, but when I'm on my wildcard and I've only got perhaps a week to plan it, or 2 weeks to plan it, and there's a deadline there, I want to know all the combinations, therefore I want to see the screen grabs. But I guess when you've got a summer, I'm pretty set. I'm not tinkering. I was seeing everyone, and you guys probably in the chat, let me know, we're all tinkering up until the final day. I made one single change, one transfer, one change in the final 7 days leading up to the deadline. Like, I was set, I was locked.
What was the change?
The change was Rafinha came in, Tony went out.
Oh, interesting.
So
what made you do that? I wouldn't have guessed it would be that.
Yeah, so I mean, the weekend before, sure, I made changes. So the Liverpool left back, the Greek lad, came in. That might have been Monday night actually, so maybe 5 days with one change because I think they played a friendly on the Monday. And I'd seen Greenwood play well. He came in the weekend before, but no, the Rafinha one was purely looking at it, going, I don't think I am going to wildcard in game week 4, or hopefully not even game week 6, 7. I want to. Ideally, all going well, wildcard in December, right? And I felt like with Rafinha, he was the longer term pick. And I was looking at the fixtures going, if I'm wildcarding in 3 or 4, I want Tony. If I'm not, I want Rafinha. So it came down to looking for the long game. And Tony's ownership scared me a little bit, especially in the community. But I also then looked at the numbers of goals that newly promoted teams score. And I went, Leeds are going to score double Brentford this season. Therefore, I want a Leeds attacker, not a Brentford attacker. And they're the same price. I actually think that Tony was, I don't know. I think when you look at the price, they're the same price, 6.5. You look at the fan team, and Rafinha's way more expensive than that, and Tony's 6. And I think maybe that's a little bit more what you'd expect.
Yeah,
anyway,
Brentford looked good. Tony looked dangerous enough.
Yeah.
And with decent fixtures, you'd expect him to get returns. I don't have him either, just because I preferred other players. Nothing particularly against him or Brentford. You just can't have them all.
Yeah, exactly that. Kev's not got Bruno, and he's still got 74 points with Mahrez, so to play.
Nice.
So nice. Loads of you look like you're relying on hoping for Mahrez points. I feel for not feel for you. That sounds wrong. I wanted these players. I wanted Mahrez. I wanted Jota, but the Mahrez and Jota owners out there after today are all going to be thinking, until you've got them in your teams every week now, you're going to be Willy won't he. And that's why I didn't go for Mahrez or Jota. Seb, do you have Mahrez or Jota? Because the Willy won't he start is a question every owner is now going to have to ask themselves. Are they effectively booking in transfers?
Yeah, I don't have Jota simply because I went Tsimikas and wanted Trent and Salah, so I couldn't have all three.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you ended up with Tsimikas and Jota, you probably did really well yesterday, but it feels like you're definitely going to have to solve both those problems at some point. I was happy. Basically, Tsimikas just became one of my 4.0 defenders that I had anyway.
Yeah.
And then I benched Rafinha and played Tsimikas for that reason. He'll just go back on the bench when I don't need him, and I'll transfer him out eventually. I'd say probably the one thing, a lot of teams look quite similar. The one thing I guess I'd rather have was Ben Rama, now that he scored and Buendia didn't. But I was looking at those two, and I preferred Villa's fixtures and maybe Buendia a little bit just with his pedigree for the stats he can put up, but I don't think Villa are all that. I'm missing a couple of players still, obviously a new attack. So if there's anything, if I could change anything now, knowing the only thing I'd do is Buendia to Benrahma, but obviously because one of them scored more points.
Yeah. Have you got Ings and Antonio, Seb? You've got both.
Yeah, I've got.
So interesting.
I've got Wilson as well. I've got Wilson, Ings, Antonio.
So you were happy to go double attack on one of those teams. You were either between double Villa or double West Ham. See, I was flirting with Benrahma for a while. Like I knew I always wanted him, but if I had put Benrahma in, I know I probably somewhere would have taken Antonio out, and that was never an option. I wanted Antonio. I didn't want to double up on West Ham, and I didn't want to double up on Villa. But that's interesting. You were very happy to do that, and you did it with Villa, not West Ham. But yeah, you just looked at the fixtures and some of the pre-season form and went, why not?
Yeah, I mean, Antonio's almost obviously if you want West Ham or Villa attack, you're going to look at their players. But I probably would have had Antonio regardless.
Yeah.
A bit like, I'd say a bit like Wilson, not quite the same, but it's not Newcastle attack that I wanted. It's Callum Wilson that I wanted.
Yeah.
If I didn't have Wilson, it's not like I would have gone for Ryan Fraser or someone instead. And I guessed with West Ham, it's kind of the same. Like I wanted Antonio. If I wanted West Ham attack, I might have added to that or not. But Antonio is the player I wanted.
Yeah. Guys, loads of you are joining us. Always do at half time, and maybe because we came on late and you've just got the notification. But thank you for joining us. Usually in half time we take questions or have a topic, but I want to make the most of our new fancy graphics. And below the score, you are going to see all the results of the weekend so far. So why don't we spend 30 seconds on, that's going to be tough, on each game, and maybe pick out, what should we pick out? Our thoughts of the game or standout FPL players or ones to watch, right? So Brentford 2, Arsenal 0. You were impressed with Brentford, Seb?
Yeah, indeed. Tony and Mbeumo in particular. I feel like it's one of those where Brentford good, Arsenal bad, though. So we'll see how Brentford do against other teams when they're not at home for the first time in however long with all their fans pressing like crazy.
Yeah, doesn't look great for Ben White owners, but the fixtures from game week 4 do look pretty decent. United Leeds. I'll start with that one so Seb can think about it. I did forecast goals. I said on the FPL show on Thursday, Bruno's a great captaincy option because these are high-scoring fixtures. I still was always going to captain Salah, but of course goals came. And as soon as Ayling scored, Leeds needed to keep it tight, and of course they didn't. But amazing Pogba. I've said for years he's United's best player. He's United's best player. I promise you he's United's best player. It's just about finding him to play in the right team at the right time with the right manager and the right setup. But Worldy, so happy for him. And Bruno and Greenwood look really good too. Greenwood looks great. Seb, any Leeds players you want to shout out to?
Luke Ayling finally scored. That's it. That's it. He finally delivered on some numbers.
And he hit it so clean. Was he on your bench, Seb? He was on mine.
I don't even have him in my team because I wanted 4.0 defenders.
Okay, fair. Burnley 1, West Brom. Burnley 1, Brighton 2. I don't know why I'm saying. So yeah, Brighton got the win. They were 1-0 down. I watched Match of the Day, the highlights. Brighton probably got away with it a bit there. What did you take from it, Seb?
I mean, I know the Burnley goal was maybe a little bit dodgy, but it felt like they could have scored that same goal about 4 times. So, yeah, Brighton definitely feel like they got away with it. Off the top of my head, I think the XG was something like 1.6 to 1.5 in Brighton's favour. So, real close, in one match, XG isn't all that important. So, I don't think you could have really separated them. And, yeah, disappointing to lose that Sanchez clean sheet immediately as soon as the game week started, eh?
Yeah. Luke Johnson, going back to the last game, says Pogba masterclass. El Fozzi says United's best player for 5 matches a season, Pogba. That's fair, but he is still United's best player. He just doesn't always turn it on, and whose fault is that? I don't think that's Pogba's fault. Petty says Bruno is 100% our best player. I knew when I said that, Petty, I was going to be upsetting 99% of Man United fans, and I'm very happy to take that. Bruno hasn't won a World Cup. In fact, when he plays for Portugal, he's on the bench. Whatever. So, let's move on to the next one. Pogba's won all sorts. A question about Bamford. How was he? Seb, I'll go back to the Leeds fixture.
He was all right. Leeds are a lot better with Bamford up front. We need him playing there.
Yeah.
But that wasn't, he didn't really get all that much, and that wasn't really the problem. The midfield is the problem. We've known this from last year. Rodrigo does not work in midfield, especially in these matches. And I'd argue even, the rest of the midfield isn't all that, especially missing Phillips. But then we were missing Phillips in the we did have Phillips in the 6-2 last season, and he was subbed off at half-time. So that wouldn't exactly have fixed it. We are in the market for a midfielder. We'll see what happens, but not great.
Chelsea 3, Palace 0. Standout FPL options. Who looked good?
Marcus Alonso, if he was actually going to play ever.
Oh, he's a dream. He's an absolute FPL dream. You look at his positions and if he started every week, he'd be 10 million.
Yeah. I remember when he was 7 million. Before Trent was ever a thing, Marcus Alonso was there for us.
Yeah. Keep an eye on the Chelsea attack because they look like they're going to start scoring goals. They didn't do that under Tuchel.
Tell you who I like. Mason Mount. I know Lukaku, obviously, it's a different question. You could have them both. Such difference in price that it doesn't matter. Mount is easier to get in your team. Yeah. But he creates a lot of chances. I didn't actually think he was all that good yesterday. But generally over time, he creates a lot of chances, will have some chances himself. Yeah. But he's going to have Lukaku to put those away.
Yeah. He got 1 assist yesterday because he went down for the Alonso free kick. He was close to getting the second assist because he crossed the ball in, keeper parried it, then it was smacked in by Pulisic. He doesn't get the assist for that. So he was close to 2 assists. Next one, Everton 3, Southampton 1. Everton looking, well, coming good late. DCL, Richarlison. Richarlison was in my wife's team. Mount was in my wife's team as well. What do you reckon to Everton Southampton, Seb? We saw Armstrong score early.
Yeah, I mean, from a mistake. So I've got Luka Dean, and I would say the match probably went almost exactly as a lot of people would have expected, apart from Everton conceding to a mistake early on.
Yeah.
The reason I've got Luka Dean is crosses to DCL. That's what he scored from yesterday, not from Dean, admittedly. And I think they'll be all right defensively. And they have great medium-term fixtures, so I don't need to worry about it for a while. So yeah, a bit disappointing yesterday. Luka Dean didn't, put in that many balls, and obviously they conceded that goal. But I think on another day, that's 3-0 with a Dean assist, and so very happy there. And about Everton generally as well, I thought they looked pretty solid.
Yeah, even with your sort of Townsends and Damari Grays as well, that haven't made it big at some other clubs, but Rafa likes them, and we know he likes Townsend from Newcastle. He could be one to keep an eye on at 5.5 because I think he'll get games. And obviously, when you've got people like DCL and Richarlison in the box, your wingers could get assists.
With DCL now being available for selection, which few people didn't think he was, I think he becomes an option immediately. They've got decent fixtures. Yeah. The whole Everton tactic looks to be hit DCL on the head.
The problem is no one now wants to transfer out Antonio, Wilson or Ings because they've all scored.
See, Danny Ings, obviously it was that penalty. I don't think he did anything before that. And obviously Villa, will give them some time to come good, but I was pretty disappointed with how they played.
Yeah, I was really disappointed. Without Watkins and, of course, Grealish. Let's move on to Leicester because loads have said about they're let down by Harvey Barnes. He's a selfish talent. He's let me down. Some of the comments. I've got Barnes, and I'm so happy to have Barnes. It's 190 minutes where he hasn't got his points. That bloke is going to get you points. I really think he is. Like, he shoots on sight. I think he's a good option. I think you don't be too trigger happy. Give him 2 or 3 games to judge. Leicester 1-1-0, Seb. Harvey Barnes, what would you be doing?
See, I'll take the opposite side of that. I don't think he's poor or anything by any means. But for FPL, his numbers last season were kind of average. Mm-hmm. So he looks exciting. He looks like he's involved. He likes to shoot a lot.
Yeah.
Often low quality shots. So he doesn't ever stand out on any of the stats tables for me. Obviously, then watching him in real life, I suddenly think, I want to get him.
Yeah.
But maybe that's the bit he was missing yesterday. Mm-hmm. That ex-lively, as some people like to call it, whatever, the involvement. Leicester did get better once they changed shape, and Wolves are probably better defensively than people expected. So again, another one to give some time to. But in that price bracket, I just never really considered him. No, I have Buendia, who was equally poor, if not worse. Yeah. So I'm not saying I got it right. But I think there are a lot of players that I would consider before Barnes, just at the moment.
Yeah, fair enough. When they changed formation, Leicester, they went from a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-3.
It was 3-5-2, 3-5-2, wasn't it?
It was 3-5-2, and then they went to 2 up. No, they finished the game with 2 up top.
Yeah.
So they finished.
I thought it was 3-5-2 with Barnes and Vardy up top.
Yeah, it was Barnes up top. Okay, and they started with what? 4-2-3-1?
Yeah, with Barnes on the left, I think.
Yeah, Barnes was definitely left. So when they changed to the 2 up top, I was like, okay, I might get something here. But then, of course, you expect Barnes, if they're going to sacrifice a striker, they're going to probably sacrifice Barnes over Vardy for Iheanacho. Remember, Daka's there as well. So there is strength in depth there.
El Fozzy points out in the chat there that their defence is something to look at, which is right. I like their defence. And someone posted on Twitter, I forget who, I'm so sorry, that Leicester's defence was very predictable last year as well. So they would keep clean sheets generally when you expected them to.
Nice.
And then concede when you didn't, which is what we want in a defence, predictability. And if Ricardo Pereira becomes an option, I know we were talking about at the end of last year, he's very, very attacking on his day if he can hold down that spot.
And Castagne's going to be back fit soon, but he'll probably slot in at, well, I don't know how long Bertrand's going to be out, but he could slot in at left back Castagne. He can play either side, even when Bertrand's fit.
I guess that's the only thing. Like the fullbacks, there's probably too much rotation there for me to be too confident.
Yeah.
And then the Daniel Amati is a great option, but probably losing his place to Vestergaard. So
yeah, almost certainly losing his place to Vestergaard. I think. Let's move on and see if we can get through the next 4 in 2 minutes. The game's about to kick off. Watford 3, Villa 2. We've spoken about. We've spoken about Villa. Watford. Seb impressed with Sarr. There's more
Sarr.
than. Is it just Sarr? Or is there more than Sarr there?
I didn't watch the match, like I said, so I don't want to say anything that's too definitive.
Yeah.
Sarr did look impressive. They've got a lot of strikers to choose from, so I'd be too careful about getting too excited by like Dennis or Cuque Hernandez or anything like that.
Yeah.
Defensively, I know they're best in the Championship, but we've seen the best defence in the Championship get torn apart before in the Premier League, for example, Leeds. So, yeah, not all that much there. Saar probably the one to look at and then reassess later.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan defensively of them. Aston Villa showed very little and still scored 2 goals. I know one was a pen, but they still scored twice. Okay, Norwich 0, Liverpool 3. I thought Norwich actually did all right, but look, Mo Salah just... Yeah, obviously you only consider Salah. Safe bet for captaincy. Mane was quiet. I do wonder if Jota could play on the left and Firmino down the middle, and maybe Mane, unless his form really picks up, Jota becomes a safer pick because Mane's place is up for grabs. It shouldn't always just be Jota or Firmino in our thinking, because when Mane and Salah are rested, I'm not saying they're going to be rested now, Jota comes in straight away. But also when they're dropped, if they're dropped, and Mane perhaps could be, then Jota could come in. Seb, fair?
Yeah, I mean, it's reasonable. If you have, maybe it's one for later in the season when we've got more money, other options.
And there's Champions League games as well.
Yeah, exactly. You can afford like a Jota benching, or he's there just to supplement your squad. Right now, when he's there instead of a Mane, maybe, I don't know. He scored yesterday, but his goal was a little lucky. Like it came to him unintentionally from Salah.
Yeah.
And it was a really bad strike. That's probably why it went in. I think the goalkeeper expected him to try and put it across him, and he sort of just put it straight at him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he still scored. Don't shout at me there. He still scored, and he had a few other chances. But
he had the header, didn't he? Well saved header from Krul. Although it was comfortable, it was just under the bar. Yeah. Okay, last one. We just saw it earlier.
Just to add, Samakis looked nicely attacking. He was on a few set pieces.
On a few set pieces. I think he had a shot on target as well, didn't he? Oh, yeah. What was it? Blocked. Newcastle 2, West Ham 4. Just watched that game earlier. I mean, Wilson, loads have got Wilson. Yes, he scored. Declan Rice should never be letting St Maximin cross that ball. Other than that, did Wilson have a sniff?
Was that one other chance, I think?
Not for Wilson, I think. Oh, Spurs are on the attack here. 3-on-3.
Oh, we kicked off.
3-on-3, goes out wide on the right. Højbjerg, plays it in towards the back stick, and Son was waiting. But it was a really good block from Diaz, I think. Doesn't quite get there. Oh, it was Højbjerg on the overlap.
We did a good job of spending 30 seconds on each match.
Yeah, really good job.
Your mistake was asking me questions. That's what you should have done.
I mean, you know me, Seb. Denny slips in Højbjerg. Plays
he kind of is that a shot or a cross?
That's
it's a bit of a scuff shot. Yeah.
He should never be shooting from there either. But it's a shot. No. Højbjerg got in the team of the Euros. Højbjerg.
Did he?
Yeah.
Fair play.
My final quiz question at the quiz on Friday night was 11 points on offer. Name the 11. But if you get one wrong, you get 0.
Oh, nice.
So you put 7 if you're confident on 7 and get 7 points.
Nice.
So only about 5 teams out of like 25 didn't get 0 because they all just made an error. Like one of the scout team, David Monday David Monday was phenomenal in the quiz, as you'd expect. He put John Stones in, so they got 0. Harry Maguire and Bonucci were the centre-backs in the official team of the tournament.
Yeah.
What the problem is everyone has seen so many teams of the tournament, they forget who was the official one. And the official UEFA one, Højbjerg was in.
Oh, wow. So, like Donnarumma in goal, obviously those two centre-backs. Spinazzola was left-back, I'm guessing.
Yeah, Walker was right-back. Højbjerg,
okay, fair.
Højbjerg, Pedri and Jorginho. Chiesa, Lukaku and Sterling.
Okay, yeah.
I wasn't happy with the Lukaku admission. I would have put Schick for his goals and the goal of the tournament, or even I wouldn't have put Ronaldo. I'd have put Schick, but I think Schick joined Golden Boot, didn't he?
Lucas has just had a shot from range there, quite well wide.
Oh, well, that's 2 good efforts in the first couple of minutes. They've been given a bit of a rocket at half time, maybe.
Yeah, quite possibly. It all feels like the same sort of chances, which of course you're going to get against City, which is trying to break from the middle. So they're probably restricted to either these shots or properly catching them on the counter.
Yeah, City don't concede many big chances, so
I'd imagine their ratio. I'd imagine their ratio of chances conceded is probably quite high for like big chances. I bet they concede a lot as a proportion of their chances conceded.
Okay,
but as an absolute number. Or just because of the way they play. If you're going to get a chance against City, it's probably because you've broken the press and got in like behind the defence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unlike, say, like a Burnley where, small chances because they just let you shoot from the edge of the area all day long.
Yeah. Yeah, fair. So I'm on 48, 56, 57, 58. Do you want to give us a timestamp, Seb? You're a couple of seconds ahead of me, I think.
49, 5, 6, 7, and so on.
Yeah. So the team of the tournament question, Seb, like a few of my quiz questions at Fantasy Football Fest, which was on Friday.
Here was a great success.
Yeah, loads of you were. I'm seeing names in the chat who I know were there, which is awesome. Kev, for example, was there. Came down from up north. Thank you, Kev. And during the quiz, we were watching. We had Mark Suthers, the founder of Scout, watching on a laptop Brentford Arsenal on stage with me, right? And every time there was a chance, we went to Mark for an update. And obviously, me being Jeff Stelling, because I had the mic for the quiz, before throwing to Mark, I constantly teased that maybe it was Tony that was involved. Knowing I didn't have Tony, and I was very conscious that 75% of the room did have Tony. So every time I knew Tony wasn't involved, it was brilliant. I could tease it. But Kev was watching, probably on his phone, or maybe he was just checking a bookies app or something. But whatever Kev was on was ahead of Mark. So if there was ever action, Kev just sort of gave me the eyes like, okay, go to Mark now because there's going to be an update. So, Kev, you do it on here, which is amazing, and you do it at Fest. So, thank you all for...
Of course Kev was ahead. Of course he was.
I know, somehow. And it's not like
he gets that premium internet that none of the rest of us are allowed. It's a little bit quicker.
I don't know how. Maybe it was on a bookie's website because Kev was obviously engaged in the quiz as well. It's not like he was there just watching the game. But, yeah, it was brilliant. But loads of the quiz questions were just from my head. And I was waking up in the middle of the night and often like... for the last couple of weeks going, I need to put that question in the quiz. And one of them was the Euros 11. And I knew it. And I was like, not many people know this 11 because of the Euros being so important to me. And I've studied things like the 11s because of Italy's success, making sure my favourite Italian boys are in there. And, 5 Italian players in the official 11. I would have had 6. Possibly
that's a lie. You would have had 11,
7 or 8. But yeah, it was a wicked quiz, and we had so much good feedback about it. I was very, very happy with it. And Seb, but maybe I'll send you it because I'm really interested to see what score you would have got.
Oh yeah, yeah, go for it.
And maybe let you know if you would have come in the top 3.
Do it.
Bearing in mind they were teams of 8, but I would have fancied you to score very, very well.
If it was heavily Euro focused, maybe a bit less so. I didn't pay that. I mean, I watched it all, but I kind of watched it pretty chill. So
there was so my mate's team did really well because they knew I'd written it and they know me so well. So when I said who has appeared in the FPL Dream Team, which is Team of the Year, more than any other player with a record 7 times, they knew the answer was Frank Lampard because they knew I'd written it, right?
Nice.
When I said who's got the fastest kilometres speed in the Euros, they knew it was Spinazzola because I've written the quiz. When I said who's got the most amount of minutes in the Euros, they knew it was Jorginho because I've written the quiz. So my mates did really well. Now, not all the answers were Chelsea or Italy related, but they were from my head. So that was pretty cool.
Fair. And thank you for giving me 3 answers there as well, mate, when you send me the quiz.
You would have got Spinazzola and possibly Jorginho. It was outfield player, by the way. Donnarumma got the most amount of minutes, but in terms of outfield minutes, it was Jorginho.
Sure.
Was
there no outfield player that played every minute?
No. They would have played every minute, maybe in their 90s, like John Stones, I think, did. But remember, Italy had 2 lots of extra time.
Yes, indeed. So I guess if you're just down to Italy, then yeah, fair enough.
And England had 1 lot of extra time.
Yeah.
Was Lucas just under that cross? Was there a cross coming on Lucas?
Yeah, I saw him go a bit close there, and then it comes again from the other side. It almost looks like does he get on it? It looks like it bounces up.
It does.
I don't know. He just went for it. Did it come off the top of his head?
Top of his head. If he was an inch taller, he could meet that on the forehead. Although I'm not sure Lucas is. I'm not sure he's. It's probably not. It's a bit behind him, and he's probably not going to score from there. I don't think he's a great header of football, but
you know who might have scored that?
Harry Kane. Harry Kane would have brought it down his chest and volleyed it top bins. He had space there. The City defending in the box from crosses does seem a little slack. Ake and Diaz, I'm guessing, haven't played a huge amount of games together.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, I know Ake is not all that in the air necessarily. He's only like 6 foot or something, isn't he?
5'10" or 5'11". He's under 6 foot.
Oh wow, okay, cool. I know he scored a few for Bournemouth, but I guess that's more down to his like movement. But when you come to defending, maybe less so. You just need a bit more dominance, don't you?
I think so. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I always think Ake wins a lot of headers when he's he's got a quite big leap. But then I saw a stat somewhere, and yeah, you're right. Like he's not up there with the best at aerial duels, and probably because he's short of the most centre backs. Just keep my eye on the game, Seb, because there's been action. I saw in the chat there's been action.
Oh, I've got
So,
Spurs on the
gonna
counter.
come
I've got
to
Spurs
you.
on the counter here with Son wide on the right, Bergwijn's in the middle, and I think Dele's getting into the box. It'd be nice if it was him. Son doing his classic couple of step overs, hits it across. Son has scored a goal. That should probably not have gone in. It's a great finish. It's Heung-min Son, of course. Couple of little step overs on the edge of the box, comes onto his left, hits it low across the goal into the far corner. Edison's absolutely rooted to the spot. I don't know if he could have seen it coming. That's why I say it probably shouldn't have gone in, because it looked like one of those where the defenders and the goalkeeper have kind of just left it.
Yeah.
But I wonder if his view was obstructed.
It went through quite a bit of traffic, didn't it? So I can see how his view was, but still, it didn't look like it was hit that well, and it certainly wasn't right in the corner. I don't think. I've not seen the replay, but looked like it was one for Edison to comfortably make a save.
Nice goal from Son's point of view, though. Even if, it does hit, I think it hits the side netting. So even if Edison, does make an approach for it, doesn't mean he's going to get it. Got a replay coming up here. It is from a counter attack. City lose the ball in their area, and I think it's Bergwijn bringing it forward over the halfway line, puts it out to Son, so he'll get the assist. And Son up against Ake, just stands him up with the very classic, Son has one move in his, that should have been stopped. To interrupt myself there, if you watch it coming in from behind the goal, I think a City, Ruben Diaz kind of falls over it, and I think Edison just, doesn't react to that.
And it is right in the corner. It almost hits the post. But Ake...
Yeah, but Edison, if Diaz isn't there, I reckon Edison saves that.
He dives for it. Yeah. Do you know what? I think he thinks Diaz is clearing it. Or... Yeah. I mean, I don't like Ake letting him shoot from there. We've just spoken about Italy at the Euros. My back four don't let that get... He's either taken down or the ball's won, but the ball does not come into the box. Do you know? I'm frustrated with Ake there. He gives him enough space and he's showing him down the wing. I get that. But at the same time, he shouldn't be able to turn in on the left and have that much freedom.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And I feel like Son's got one move in his locker, which is that sort of step over, feint and go. Yeah. So you know what he's going to do. I guess he can go both ways, though. A few people in the chat saying about the graphics.
Yeah.
I think they update automatically.
Yeah, I think they're going to be like a minute late. So when the comments came in, because when you guys comment, what we see on screen is like 20 seconds behind. So if you're watching now, the graphics haven't updated. They have now. So you can see bonus points. You can see Son top. You can see the assist from Bergwijn. Loving that. Really good. Do you know the best thing about that is, Seb? I don't have to do anything, which is really scary. I've done nothing and it's all just magically appeared.
It's worth the 20-minute delay setting up.
Yeah, exactly. Who would have thought it?
Captain, FPL captain, who set it up for us. So thank you very much for that.
Captain saved the day. Great weekend for FPL family. Lee and Sam have been at Norwich and Spurs. Yeah, they were.
Oh, nice. I say, for people who've got Son, that's a big result because this is the match you wouldn't expect anything from necessarily.
Yeah.
He's got some good fixtures to come. And I know if you have Son, you possibly don't have Fernandes. So obviously you're still down at the moment. But it's got to feel a bit good getting a Son goal.
Yeah, exactly that. I'm disappointed because Toby's got Son. And I actually texted him before the game and said, I'm really worried about Son because this is the sort of game he's going to just deliver in and get, perhaps get a chance on the counter. But
yeah.
Also, who's Spurs got next? Is it Watford in game week 3 or 2? They've got a really good game. They've got a really sort of captainable game, Son, in game week 2 or 3. I'm not going to have him. My team's not built to bring Son in the next couple of weeks without sort of surgery, which I'm not willing to do. But their fixtures, they've definitely got one which suits the Son captain.
They've got Wolves next, and then in game week 3, it's Watford, which is, I think, the match people are looking for a captain, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's... Salah got Chelsea.
Salah's got Chelsea. Although I remember thinking someone else had a decent fixture. Bruno's got Wolves. Yeah.
So
that was when I was thinking about the premiums I wanted. Now I know obviously I ended up with Fernandes. I'll say why in a sec. But when I was looking at those, there was a lot of who am I going to captain against who?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people were calling out needing a captain for. Well, game week 2 it was I want to be able to captain Mahrez against Norwich, and then game week 3 where you're saying I want to be able to captain Son. But I think Bruno's got a decent fixture in game week 3. And then I forget when it is. I don't know if it's the Norwich one, but is it Salah's playing? I don't think he's playing Leeds next. But there's a match where everyone was like, I want to be able to captain this player.
Salah's got Burnley next week.
Okay, there you go. So that's perfect for me. And then there you go, game week 4, where Salah has got Leeds.
Yeah.
Well, we just saw what Fernandes and Man United did to Leeds. I have no problem with captain Salah against Leeds. And it was actually one of the reasons I wasn't going to get Fernandes originally, because people were looking to captain him that week, I think, rather than Salah. But I was very confident in captaining Salah. But then, as pointed out to me, that if I was happy captaining Salah against Leeds, why wouldn't I get Fernandes against Leeds in the first game week? So that's one of the reasons I ended up going with the Fernandes draft.
Interesting, especially with that fixture, as we know, United Leeds. Goals, goals, goals. Just seen in the chat, El Fozzy, yeah, you mentioned that. FPL family, great for them. They were at Liverpool, Norwich, they're at Carrow Road, and now they're at Spurs, and both their teams are winning or have won. But
Nice.
my question to El Fozzy is, how did FPL...
Ooh, Bergwijn is in. Bergwijn is in. Oh, he's put it wide.
Oh, Cancelo.
I don't know if that was a save or he's just smashed it wide. But
Smashed it wide.
I don't know if there would have been an assist as well. It was a Man City fumble, wasn't it?
Cancelo's got to be intercepting that. Sort of, yeah, Bergwijn was in clean and
That's tough. Well, Grealish is away down the left here though. Not a huge amount on it. It's only Ferran Torres trying to make a break into the box, which is possibly the issue when you don't have a recognised or traditional striker. You're not going to get those runs into the box, someone hanging on the edge that you maybe normally do.
I'll go back quickly to my question to El Fozzy. How did FPL family, I know they got the Spurs tickets because I think Sam might be a member or maybe even a season ticket holder. If not, her family certainly are. But how did they get to the Carrow Road tickets? Was it like pure luck, chance they did it themselves? Or did Fantasy Football Scout help them? If Fantasy Football Scout helped them, please help me. I'm in need of a football ticket too. Or maybe it was the Premier League. And if so, let me know, because then I know I can ask maybe the same favours. But yeah, I was very jealous to see them at the opening day fixture for their team. I live 40 minutes from Leicester, by the way. I
was going to say, you've got some famous friends, Janet. You can get yourself in there, surely.
Yeah, maybe. No, I don't think I can. I don't think I can. And my next thing, there was something else I was going to say on the chat that I saw. That was it. I think it was Matt. So Matt said, did you see Andy swapped out Son last minute? Matt, did he swap? I'm guessing that was on his deadline stream. And I'm guessing you're talking about Let's Talk Andy. But yeah, really interesting that he did that. Because all these considered managers, these brilliant managers that got great ranks last year, people making final transfers with minutes to deadlines. I don't know if that's what happened or if we're talking about the same bloke, but not a fan. You've had 3 months to prepare this team. Seb, were you one of them as well? And like I said, I made one transfer in a week. Like, come on. You should know. Friday afternoon tinkering before 3 months worth of planning.
That's why I did my draft thing. That's why I was, I won't make a little change at the end. I'll just pick between a draft.
Right. Okay.
So I wouldn't be doing that.
You're picking.
I think Andy did it because he saw the Brazil thing with Rafinha potentially not being around in time for game week 4, and so I think he was looking at removing Rafinha. I don't know if he removed Jota or something. I think he went Gundogan and Mahrez instead of like Son and Rafinha or something like that. So I think he was thinking about it anyway, and then it was the Brazil thing that pushed him over the edge rather than Son himself.
Okay, Fergus says he had a wild deadline stream. I bet he did. Yeah, I was thinking that, El Fozzy. I was thinking that exact thing. I bet it was all planned.
Yeah, all for the content. All for the content.
All for the clicks. You've got to have drama on it. Otherwise, why watch? Well, not why watch, but, it makes it more watchable. Spurs with another attack. It's gone to nothing, but they're getting the space, and City will commit numbers. Grealish is really central as well, worth noting, and he's now looking way more advanced. Grealish, he's kind of playing off Torres.
Yeah, right now. I mean, when they broke a minute ago, he was down the left, but right now he's literally in the 10 position, wearing a 10 on his back.
Yeah. Who wore 10 for City last season, Seb? Was it just a free shirt?
So Guerrero.
Oh, of course it was. That was good timing. Good time.
I used to wear. I still think of Aguero as number 16.
Oh, 16.
He used to wear 16. Yeah.
Kun, and he had Kun Aguero, didn't he?
Yes, indeed.
What did he have at Atletico? Do you remember?
Oh goodness, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same, because I know Kun is. I think it's like there was a children's TV character or cartoon character in Argentina that apparently he looked like.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing the nickname has stuck around for a while.
Yeah.
So probably the same. You can Google it if you want.
Poor bloke, he's absolutely gutted about Messi. Like, he went to Barca to play with Messi.
I know. Like, I mean,
there's talk he might leave.
he's literally. He's godfather of Messi's son, or the other way around?
Yeah.
Like, so he's end of his career. He's clearly gone to play with, like, not just a friend, but like a member of his family.
Yeah.
And gutting.
Yeah, he's godfather. I think he's godfather of Messi's son, and he was also. Is he married to Maradona's daughter?
Yeah. He is. Yeah. So that child has no pressure.
Yeah. Right. Imagine that. Maradona's your granddad, and your godfather's Leo Messi. Pedigree. We're at 60 minutes. which means the bonus points will start to become a bit more accurate. So you'll see that Reguilon has moved to BPS. So we've currently got Son in gold. We've got Reguilon in sort of a bronzy colour. Does that mean he's third highest? Is someone in silver? I don't know if it's gold, silver, bronze, or if it's gold, bronze, something else. I'm going to check so we can compare it. Now, obviously, we're on a slight day. So I've got Son top. I've got Mendy second in bonus, and then Reguilon. So what colour's Mendy in? Is he in silver? I'm only looking on a very small screen, so maybe. So I can confirm. Son is on 26, Mendy 24, Reguilon 22.
Looking at it, Mendy might be in silver there, but I guess because of the other names are in white, it's a little hard to tell.
Yeah. Let us know if you guys can see silver. He was 10 at Atletico, says Joe. Okay.
There we go.
Shako's come to say hello. Hello, baby. Hello. Look at this. You'll say hi to all your fans. This is Sharko, everyone.
By the way, Sharko had a look at Fernandes for captain and moved away.
Oh my God, the drama of that video. That was first take, Seb. I went to town on the production value because it was opening weekend of the season. I thought I'm gonna do a little bit more than I usually do. So I got the paddling pool out and all that. Stuck some stuff on the wall, originally with sellotape. It blew off 10 times, got the masking tape out. If you're interested in watching this, by the way, seeing Sharko pick as captain, after this stream, search on Twitter the hashtag because Sharko says, or just follow me and you'll see I tweeted it like yesterday. Actually, I think this morning again. And this little one picks your game week captain every week. And he sniffed Bruno, the fish that was with Bruno that he decided not to eat. He wears a shark fin. And decided to go for Salah. And it wasn't the best call in the world, but he didn't go for Tony. So
it's not a bad captain shout, is it? I think I captained Salah. Everyone, many people did. So it's not a bad shout by any means. But
True.
Just that moment when he looked at Fernandes, imagine if that had come off.
Yeah, exactly that. That would have been hilarious. Guys, let us know in the chat who you captained. I'm guessing. Okay, let us know in the chat if you didn't captain Bruno or didn't captain Salah. Because I think there might be one or two, sort of, I don't know, an Antonio or an Ings, maybe. But yeah, I'm really interested to know. So do.
I saw a couple, literally just a couple of Fernandes triple captains.
Wow, did you? My wife captained Bruno. She doesn't own Salah though, so that's probably why.
Nice.
But I barely see any Bruno captainers.
What's she done with the Salah funds?
She's got loads of mid-price players. So she's got Richarlison, she's got Jimenez, she's got Mount, she's got players like that. But she's done really well.
Nice. I was going to say, Richarlison returned a goal and an assist.
Yeah, and Mount got the assist.
Yeah. Jimenez is a nice shout. When their fixtures, I think they've got some decent fixtures.
After game
if he is back to his old self, he'll be a very nice shout.
Danny Ings to Jimenez looks like the most nailed transfer ever if you're not using those funds for a Kane or a Lukaku. So Wolves' fixtures from 4 are brilliant, like amazing, and Villa's fixtures from 4 are terrible.
Yeah, I might do, again, ignoring the premium attacker, which obviously might happen. I've got Buendia, who I might do to Smith Rowe, whose fixtures flip at the same time.
Yeah.
And he looked good against, we didn't mention that, he looked good against Brentford, probably the only player. And then, exactly the same, Ings to Jimenez.
Scout members, by the way, guys, check out the transfer planner. And also the fixture ticker stuff. Like, that's all brilliant for planning these moves. Like, I've identified, say, game week 4. And I don't like to bookmark transfers in, but it's good having a sort of idea of what you want to do with your moves. So do check that out. Grealish has moved into bonus points. Okay. Yes, nice. He has. And look at that change on our screen. Love that.
Very nice. And he's been more involved here as well. City, as you would expect.
Oh, she's got Grealish, my wife. Sorry, Seb. She's got Grealish.
Oh, nice. City more involved here, just sort of on the edge of the area, trying to camp out. I think they've just won a free kick with Dele fouling Mahrez there. Probably a little far out for a shot, maybe. We'll see from the other angle. But as you'd expect, City trying to turn the screw, and we've got Jesus coming on, I believe, here. But Spurs will be happy with that, right? Just sit back, wait for the counter.
Yeah, I think so. Who's going to come off? Will it be Torres? Like for like?
I think it possibly has to be. I'm not sure, unless they were going to bring on like a KDB and switch it around properly. I'm not sure there's much else. You keep Sterling on, you probably keep Mahrez. I don't think you mess with the midfield.
Although it is Sterling's first game of pre-season. He's not played any minutes.
Oh, really? Okay, maybe then. Maybe.
I don't think he's even come on as a sub. I think he's on 0 minutes for pre-season, Sterling. Yeah. But yeah. Okay.
I mean, it won't be fitness that he's lacking too much because he played the Euros.
Yeah.
But obviously maybe just a bit of sharpness, yeah.
I'll wait for this free kick, and then I've got a comment from the chat. So Joe, I'll go with the comment. Joe, supposedly you can do live polls in YouTube chat now. I mean, I love the idea of that, but changing graphics and even getting Seb on a call and like over the internet is difficult for me. Imagine me having to do live polls. I mean, I'm just not good at tech, but maybe we can try and work that out.
Oh, I thought Man City had scored. Free kick goes wide. I think it's Gundogan who plays it across to Mahrez, low cross into the box, and probably Ferran Torres on the end of it. One of those where, again, you're just waiting for it to hit the net, but it just bulges up and goes out.
Was that Cancelo with the ball in, Seb?
Oh, sorry, it was. They've both got blonde hair. It was Cancelo. I think that's a brilliant block, actually. I think that might be Davinson Sanchez, who just gets... Oh, no, tell a lie. Ferran Torres almost tries to control it, comes off his foot and bounces up and out.
Why didn't he hit that first time? Was he trying to two-touch finish in that sort of congestion?
I'm not sure. I mean, there's Tottenham players around him. Maybe he just doesn't quite set himself until, because that's hit him with some speed, until the ball comes in. And, we've all been there, right? You can't sort your feet out. So you're like, oh, I'll just try and take a touch and do something, and it's got away from you.
Yeah.
Jesus does come on for Sterling. Good shout.
What can I say, mate? That's what we do. Cancelo and Mahrez both blonde and on the right. I also thought originally that was Mahrez with the ball in. There's probably quite a few Cancelo owners out there. James saying he's not played well at all this game. I think he's done all right. He's drifted infield.
Cancelo or Mahrez?
Cancelo. And Mahrez. No, there's definitely more Mahrez owners. Yeah.
if I had to like call out the worst City player on the pitch, it wouldn't be him.
Yeah.
But no one's particularly impressed me. Like Grealish has been involved enough, but not much else. Sterling's not really done much. Ake's mistake for the goals. I'd probably pick him.
That ball from Cancelo puts him in one of City's best attacking players just from that ball alone, right? Because they've produced very little. Little.
You're not wrong. He does have a very good delivery.
Yeah, he does. I was gutted he missed out on the Euros. I think he got COVID in the group stage, but in the friendlies to the Euros, he looked brilliant.
Is there a poll in the chat? Did you manage to work that out, or has someone else done that?
Oh wow, someone's done that. I'm guessing El Fozzi might have done that, or maybe Captain's watching. Will Kane moved to City. I think I can vote.
Yeah, I've just voted.
No.
Can we have man bun or shaved head for Gianni, please?
Oh my God, yes. I know the outcome to that, and it's get rid because I look bald.
Really? I like your man bun. I mean, what was it? Just because you've like...
It's because it's so slick back that my usual hair covers a little bit of... I mean, you could say receder, you could not. You just say high forehead, whatever, but it's there. But I mean, I am very conscious that it doesn't look as good as my old haircut, but at the same time, I want something different, and it's never going to be this long again.
I was going to say, is it maybe like, I was going to say sunk cost, but people normally use that as an example to not do something. But you've got this far. Yeah. If you grow it a little bit more, are you going to be able to maybe do it a bit more with it?
I don't know now because I've trimmed the sides, so I'm committed to this style. I can't wear it down. I can't. Unfortunately, Seb, I can't ever now do an Andrea Pirlo because I've cut the sides.
Oh.
And what I really wanted from
Jack Harrison.
What I really wanted from this whole 2 years worth of growth was to one day look a bit more like Andrea Pirlo. But I cut the sides and I had to do it because I was going on the FPL show on Thursday and it really didn't work. I had to.
Let me put this to you. If Andrea Pirlo was 20 years younger and a young footballer playing now, what haircut would he have?
Probably the same. He's things just don't change. It's timeless.
Oh no, but that's Pirlo now. The middle-aged man.
Oh,
okay. If he came through now, I think we'd have a man bun wearing Pirlo.
Probably would. Yeah, okay. And he definitely wouldn't be at Leeds though, even with that haircut.
I like how you made that connection.
I love the fact we can do polls, and I love the fact that we've seen two polls, or one, and talked about another. The Kane one, we were like, yeah, whatever. Gianni's hair, 2 minutes of airtime. Brilliant. Will Kane move to City has got 65 votes. I don't know how we see the outcome of that. Have you seen an outcome? If I press yes or no, nothing happens, because I'm under...
Can you not click it? It's collapsed. Can you not click on it? I can see 60% yes, 40% no on mine.
Can you? Let me try and hide it because it's blocking my chat. Oh God, it's Gianni on tech again. If I try and vote, it says some weird stuff about my settings in OBS, and I'm like, okay, no.
I'm going to say stop pressing buttons.
But then I can't see the chat. Okay, I can see JC's comment. Is that the top No, there's the comments below that, isn't there? I
Yeah,
can't see
right.
them.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Oh no, what have you done?
It's fine. I'll just have to wait for the next comments. They'll roll up. Might get you a bit
Oh,
late.
Man City are in. I think it's Jack Grealish. Oh, shot straight at the keeper. Nice little chance though. Probably could have cut it back, although I don't know if there was anyone there.
There wasn't.
Gets in just down that left-hand side again and hits it with his left foot straight at Lloris.
We've not seen many saves for Lloris, and there's one.
Yeah, indeed.
Interesting that who puts him in?
Based on this so far, I would not be unhappy having Grealish going forward. Obviously, with KDB back, with other players playing and with a bit of rotation, we're not sure where he's going to play all the time or if he's going to play all the time. Well, but that's the thing, isn't it? But Sterling can play there as well. There's other players who can play there. So that might reduce his minutes. If he is going to be in the middle with KDB, I'd be encouraged, but then that's Gundogan missing out. So realistically, you'd think he's going to miss some football or be moved around quite a lot. But based on what I've seen here, I don't hate it. Well, he's 8 million. That's a not bad price for a City midfielder who could be involved.
Yeah. Although, when Foden's fit, do you say you get Foden at similar price?
Exactly. There's another player who play on the left or in the middle if we want.
Or on the right. Foden got a lot of game time on the right at the end of last season, and we know we won't see Grealish there, but we could see Sterling there, and we could see Sterling as the number 9. I wonder if Pep is thinking. I know he's always got different 11s, different sides, and you can't say his number 1 formation, but Gundo and KDB are going to be in there as the 8s, right? So I think Grealish left, Mahrez right, Sterling number 9.
Our poll completed with a 59% yes and a 40% no. Where's the 1% gone?
That was me in my OBS settings. I was trying to vote.
So good.
Lo Celso's coming
right.
on. Lo Celso with his fresh Argentinian tan, because he's been playing he starts for Argentina. He's been playing in the Copa America. Can't get a game for Spurs.
He's so good as well. He should play for Spurs.
So good. I would love to pick him in FPL. I know he's not an F because he was cheap, and if he played number 10 consistently, he'll get loads of assists. Yeah.
Yeah, I really, really, really like him. Even not in number 10, just in the midfield.
Yeah.
He provides something going forward and defensively. Works so hard for it as well. He's a decent volume player as well. He'll make a lot of passes, a lot of touches, a lot of tackles.
But in this 4-2-3-1, you swap him with Dele.
Yeah.
And he is in a 10, but yeah.
Well, he's coming on for Bergwijn, so potentially that's another body in the middle, or he's going wide. Yeah. I wonder if it's maybe dropping him more central.
Yeah, and the formation you can see on screen now is 4-2-3-1. I wonder if this more moves to, I don't know. It's going to be Son down the middle and probably still 4-5-1, but just more bodies in the middle. Lo Celso deeper than Bergwijn was.
I mean, it's probably been more of a 4-3-3 in the match anyway, hasn't it? So there's every chance he's just going to sort of sit but tuck.
Yeah.
Trying to see where he is now.
Yeah.
Son's still up front, obviously. It does look like he's come left. So potentially just replacing Bergwijn on the left there. Yeah. But he is capable of moving inside. So I wonder if he'll be a little bit more defensively solid than Bergwijn.
Yeah. Spurs front three have been excellent, says Glenn. Fair point.
Yeah, they have.
They have. And they've really not given City too much time. They've all worked very hard. Like you can see Lucas now tracking back. That no one's a luxury. No one's playing sort of with luxury up there. They've all got defensive responsibility, even Son.
With just over 13 minutes to go, no KDB suggests he's certainly not ready for the season.
I think he's about to come on.
You'd bring him on, but you'd bring him on earlier, no?
Yeah, I mean you would, yeah. But he's about to come on with Zinchenko.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah. I did wonder if he might even start today, knowing he had travelled. I thought, will he do a Sterling and give him the first hour?
Yeah, fair enough. It's an interesting one, isn't it? When you put a player on the bench but they're not ready to start, it's what circumstances are you happy to use them in, I guess, in these circumstances.
Oh, I love our new poll. Who are you looking to captain in game week 2? So, let's go through them. It's the twins coming on.
Mahrez is coming off.
Mahrez off.
So Mahrez blanks, unfortunately.
2 points for Mahrez. Get in.
So Fernandes and... I'm not sure what the swap was because I guess I had 2 drafts, but let's say Fernandes and Buendia versus Son and Mahrez has come out up for my team.
Well up.
But there may be people out there who had Son over Mahrez, and that would have been a very nice shot.
It's come up, and you've now got your... But for game week 2-3, it'll be interesting because you may have captained Son for game week 3 against Watford, and now you're going to captain Bruno against Wolves. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, maybe. Although I'm kind of like I've mentioned a few times, I want to be aggressive for transfers this year.
Oh, so you might
So
mix around
I'm
your
not.
premiums? You could see
I'm
yourself
not.
getting Son for game week 3?
I'm not against. Oh, just a shot from range there from I think Son. It's gone wide, but yeah, I'm not against swapping Fernandez for Son or even Salah for Son for a 1 week thing. You know, we're
Okay.
not going to be able to have 4, 5 premiums or whatever we end up needing. You know, what if we need Fernandez and Salah and KDB and Son and Lukaku and then there's still a Harry Kane? You're not going to be able to do that all year. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of for the trying to juggle them around a little bit.
Okay. Nice. Going with your late riser upside chasing approach, maybe.
Maybe.
Some premiums that no one's got for 1 week only. Love that. Who are we looking to captain then, guys? Salah, who we know is Burnley. Bruno is... Who's Bruno got? Seb? You got a fixture?
Next week, I can have him in front of me.
Son's got slightly easier fixture against Wolves. KDB
Fernandez has Southampton.
It's away at Southampton, who looked, as soon as they conceded one yesterday, Everton had some fun against him. Like I think we'll all captain Salah because he's home to Burnley, but Bruno away at Southampton is again a brilliant fixture.
Yeah.
And then Son's got Wolves. I don't think many will captain him. KDB, who's KDB? Norwich.
Well, Man City have got Norwich, and that's the big one, isn't it? I wonder if people might be a little bit scared off Mahrez.
I know.
Because he didn't do much today. But if you've got a City player, you've got to think about it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Ooh, De Bruyne puts a classic De Bruyne cross into the box there. Cleared away by Spurs. I think it was Eric Dyer, but inviting.
Really interesting to see what the Mahrez owners do, because many Mahrez owners had him because they loved the captaincy shout against Norwich. I don't think after today, seeing him come off at 70 minutes or whenever it was, again not perform that well, they'll be worried that he's going to be a 20-minute man off the bench or he's going to get 60 and blank again.
I mean, yeah, there's every chance. I know De Bruyne didn't come on for him directly today, I don't think.
Yeah.
But if De Bruyne comes into the team, Grealish goes wide, Sterling stays in the team, you could see no Mahrez.
Yeah, because you could see Ferran Torres on the right, you could see Sterling on the right. Either of those two options are very viable.
Yeah, for sure.
Remember, Torres, by the way, guys, I know we're seeing him 9, and most of you probably know this. Torres, by trade, is a right-sided forward. Although he does look very good as a number 9 when we've seen him there. At the end of last season, looked great. We've seen him play there for Spain and do well. Again, for Spain in the Euros, he was predominantly a right-sided forward. Yeah. I saw Italy beat Spain, Seb, live at Wembley. It was great.
Oh, nice.
I went to the game. I bought a ticket, and we're 81 minutes on the clock. We'll let you know as soon as stuff happens, but let me be a little bit self-indulgent here. I was watching Italy-Belgium, and what a game that was, by the way. The Insigne goal, wow. Insigne goal, and it was just amazing, that half of the Chiesa goal. But about 80 minutes in, was there a Chiesa? What was the score? It was 2-1. Lukaku got a penalty. We were 2-1 up, 80 minutes in. I knew if I wanted to get a ticket and guarantee a seat, I had to commit before the full-time whistle. They're like 200 quid each. They're expensive. And I was sat there with my wife, and I was in an Italian bar in Bedford, and I was like, I'm going to do it. She was like, but what if Belgium score? You'll be so devastated. Not only have you spent 400 quid on the pair of us, but you're also now not going to be watching Italy. You're going to be watching Belgium versus Spain. But I was like, nah, we're going to do it. I'm confident. So I bought the tickets. And you can't, it's really difficult to refund because of COVID and stuff like that. And all on the app. Doherty coming on for Tanganga. More attacking right back there.
Which doesn't entirely make sense if they were 1-0 up against City with 8 minutes to go. Yeah. So I wonder if it's just fresh legs rather than necessarily more attacking.
Yeah.
Because he's got De Bruyne coming on now, sort of on that side. It's just where he put a ball in. Zinchenko is on that side, presumably fresh legs, and obviously Grealish likes going over there. So maybe just knows he's going to have attention.
Yeah. That's a big call as well. Tanganga getting the start today. We didn't really talk about that, but we know Nuno likes Doherty, and we think he'll probably start getting more minutes than he did last season. But I think I'm right in saying, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat or Seb, I think I'm right in saying Aurier is still at the club. I think he's been kind of. I know he's up for. Oh, heavy tackle there on Cancelo. Don't know if the ref's going to come back on that. That looked like a yellow card. It was certainly late.
Oh. It might be. It came to nothing. Oh no, I think. Oh no, he has given it. He has indeed given it.
So yeah, Aurier I know is up for. I think he's I don't know if he's under contract or if he's transfer listed, but he's close.
He's still at Spurs as far as I'm aware, but yeah, it looks like he's not going to be involved. And I guess the thing with the first week though is some of the lineup decisions aren't all that reliable because a bit like the last week of the season, there were reasons to rotate your team. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne shot from range save, nice, but he's been their best player. I mean, funny enough, right? But he's been their best player in the 5 minutes he's been on.
Yeah. I tell you what, KDB, now we know he's got minutes and he's fine. KDB versus Norwich for someone like Seb that might want to
Bruno to KDB
that might want to go with changing premiums around this season. That's got to be a tempter because I know you love owning KDB in this game.
Yeah.
As do I. I captained him a lot last season, a lot. Like
Yeah,
probably
me too,
he was probably
me
my
too.
most captain player, and he often didn't perform in the games you needed him to. He missed pens, he hit.
It was
woodworks.
it was those games where he kept like just missing those relatively simple chances, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was massively underperforming, wasn't he, in terms of shots? Was it?
And by the way, just to point out that it was Grealish that assisted that De Bruyne chance.
Oh, was it?
And De Bruyne has now taken a corner from both sides since coming on. I know he normally does that anyway, and Grealish didn't particularly take them at Villa, but that probably does confirm that Grealish isn't going to be on any corners while at least De Bruyne is on the pitch.
Was Grealish on the corners earlier, Seb? I didn't take note.
You know what?
I don't remember actually seeing.
I know
corners,
Cancelo's taken some.
Okay. Guys, look at the bonus points. Look at those lovely, beautiful colours on our screen. There's a lot of sharing going around, which I'm a big fan of. So yeah, loads of players featuring. Mendy's still in amongst it. Son for 3 probably looks fairly nailed. The winning goal.
City into the box here with Ferran Torres. Cancelo, I'm guessing, because Mahrez is off now. Cancelo played Ferran Torres in. He's very, very tight to the byline. I think he tries to cut it back rather than shooting, and it either comes off the post or the goalkeeper's foot. Presumably the foot, because De Bruyne's got the corner.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Cancelo so looks like Mahrez, and because he's been in Portugal all summer, he's got a sort of really good tan as well as the blonde hair.
It's just when we're doing these, I obviously have like stream on one side, football on the other one, like a single monitor.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone starts looking real similar, unless someone has like pink hair and dark hair. They could all be the same player. I try to remember boot colours.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Or shirt numbers if possible, but it's hard when there are white numbers on a light blue shirt.
Zinchenko, De Bruyne is always the one because they have the same colour boots, same sort of hair, similar sort of stature, and they both end up on the left. So
they also run the same.
Yeah.
Because you also look at the sort of sometimes running styles and stuff like that.
Torres puts a ball into the box there. De Bruyne sprayed it across to him. Torres low cross again, and nothing came of it. But City already looking so much better with Kevin De Bruyne on. I mean, I know they're pushing. I know Spurs are sitting back, but De Bruyne has been involved in everything since coming on and really has upped a gear for them.
Yeah, interesting that obviously with Sterling off, as expected, Grealish is wide left as well, where he may or may not be more comfortable. He has in the past said he sees himself as a KDB. He said KDB's his idol. This was a few years ago. He likes playing that role better than as a wide forward. But when you look at him, certainly last year at Aston Villa, he predominantly played as the left-sided forward in an attacking 3. When he came on for England, he often came on in that role. Although in the build-up to the tournament, we saw him playing the Mason Mount number 10 role. It's going to be interesting to see where he plays.
Realistically, those two positions can end up being quite similar. If he likes, drifting towards that left-hand side, and we know he runs with it, I know he said he sees himself as a KDB, but his style is different. He progresses the ball by dribbling mostly, whereas KDB progresses the ball by passing. So it might be his idol, but more in terms of impact and style and quality, not necessarily literally trying to recreate his role. You could start Grealish in the middle, and he could end up basically being a bit of a winger anyway. And when he is on the left, it's not like he plays like a out-and-out, Theo Walcott of old or anything. He does come inside. He does look to create.
Yeah. He's getting a bit of space here, Grealish, as the ball goes out, as we say that.
Oof. I like the De Bruyne Grealish combination could be very, very nice. Two very, very smart, very good
intelligence
footballers.
Right there. They will be on the same wavelength before you know it. Like, they won't need much training to be on the same wavelength together. And so cool that Grealish has said so many times in years gone by how he sees himself as a KDB, how KDB is his role model, how KDB is his idol. Like, that would have played a massive part in his decision-making to play for this football club. As well as, I'm sure, the paycheck and loads of other stuff. But I genuinely think, like, playing with his idol would be so huge for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And you think it will help him develop. Like, I know he's not young, but there's still room for him to develop.
Absolutely. He's been in the big fish of a small pond for a very long time. This will be brilliant for his England career too, I think. Watch Gareth start him every week now. We have a question. Sorry, guys, I can't see the bottom of the chat when the poll's on screen, which is about to finish. So do get your votes in. We've had 124 votes so far for captaincy. But one of the questions asked 5-10 minutes ago is having a 6 million player on the bench worth it for rotation? I wouldn't normally do it, but I've fared well with it last season. Thinking of removing Ings for Armstrong and upgrading a 4.5 mid to Benrahma. You're giving yourself one extra decision each week, is what I would say. And I don't like giving myself too many headaches. So that means each week you will be benching either Armstrong or you'll be benching Benrahma, I'm guessing, right? If you're playing, say, 3 at the back. So,
and I think you're always, are you probably always going to make the Benrahma decision there? Like, unless West Ham are playing City, when are you going to choose Armstrong over Benrahma?
I mean,
I don't think it's going to be that often.
Unless we're playing maybe United, City, Chelsea.
Yeah,
Liverpool. So 4-5 teams, yeah.
For me personally, and there will be some personal preference here, and some people want rotation, so fair enough. For me personally, especially early in the season when we have the least amount of money to spend that we're probably going to have all year, I want all my money in the team. Of course, if anyone's seen my team, I know I have Rafinha on the bench, but that's because I'm starting one of my 4.0s. It just happens to be Samakis. I have a 4.0, 4.0, 4.5 bench, and that's what I want at the beginning of the season. Of course, if COVID rears its head, I need to readdress there. But at the moment, I think get all your money in the team where possible.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. Seb, what's the last thing in the chat you saw? Because I've still got Kev's comment at the bottom of my screen saying Zinchenko and KDB about to come on. And that was 10 minutes ago.
Fozzie and Kev Mack talking. Son losing a bat and Jack booked.
Okay.
Guess we might be about to see because Kev is, hours ahead of us and Grealish is currently arguing with the referee.
Grealish yellow.
That's tough.
So, apologies, guys, if I'm not answering your questions. Seb's going to keep an eye on the chat for us.
Sure.
The poll stuff's thrown my thing. It says I need to sign into the chat, and I have no idea what the sign-in is.
So the results of the poll,
go on. Yeah,
is who are you looking to captain in game week 2? We have KDB or other City player with 3%, so differential there for you. Son with 7%. Fernandes with 23% and Salah with 65%.
Okay. Salah 65. Guys, I always give Sharko a shout out. And I know you guys might not all care for dogs, but I've been joined by this one for a lot of my chat today. And here he is with his little pink elephant. He's the sweetest, and his name's Chance, and he's 11 years old, but he's still like a puppy. There's football going on today. 91 minutes in. 3 minutes left. 3 minutes left. Can Man City get anything, Seb?
I mean, it's one of those where if they had another 20 minutes, sure, because KDB seems to have upped them and they're creating, but 3 minutes, I think Spurs might have got this,
Do you look at the 3 minutes and go, they're going to still get one chance, but will it be a big enough chance? Will it be a chance they can score from? Or do you...
I mean, have they had a big chance, to use that terminology? I don't know if they have.
Yeah, Torres, when he tried taking a touch, Cancelo's cross in.
Yeah, true.
That's a big chance, because he should be hitting that first time, and he's 3 yards out.
Yeah, it was a difficult situation because of how it came to him and people around him, but yeah, he took it poorly, didn't he? He should have tried to hit that first time.
Left foot.
And then you'd say it's a good opportunity to get a ball in the net.
Yeah, I think it was because it was his left foot he was trying to control it with. He probably didn't want to take it on his left, although you'd struggle to miss it.
Spurs into the box. I've just been seen out by Fernandinho here, but Spurs just getting into the box and trying. So they're still looking. And they're closing City down very nicely, actually, rather than a Mourinho side that might have dropped all the way back. There, rather than trying to drop back into a low block, they very quickly closed City down and won the ball again.
Watch Dele Alli there, Seb.
Admittedly, they've now just kicked it away, but it was nice.
But that was Dele. That was Dele in that left-hand channel, number 20. 92 minutes in, Dele, who's been accused in the past of being lazy, well, he's running hard for this manager.
Yeah. We've seen nothing attacking from Dele today that I can recall, which is what we were, beginning of the match, we were saying we wouldn't judge him on this. But if you were looking at Spurs attack, Lucas was okay. Bergwijn pretty good. Son obviously very good, I think. Dele not so much. So he's still quite far out my mind. But look, he's got 90 minutes today. It looks like he might have a spot in this team unless they're going to rejig it or Kane comes back in.
Yeah, Tanganga getting the official man of the match.
Interesting.
Sky. In terms of bonus points, because that's what we really care about, is interestingly, Son isn't on the top of the bonus. It's Lloris for 3. Son looks like he's in silver, so it's probably Son for 2, Mendy, Reguilon, and Dyer on for the singles.
Has Son made a few saves? Son hasn't made any saves. Has Lloris made a few saves?
I'm guessing he's made 2 or 3. Not many,
Let's have a
but
little look. He's on 4.
he's on fair.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder if I'm trying to guess here. Often goalkeepers can get it for a bit of pass completion too,
Passing.
but I don't think he's really done much of that. Maybe it's just because if Spurs haven't had much of the ball, the rest of the Spurs defence don't have that many BPS, so it's gone to Lloris in terms of keeping a clean sheet.
Yeah, and you'd have to look at the other Spurs defenders, Seb, and say they've not actually made many interceptions and tackles either. So
yeah, that's probably fair.
Which you really don't expect against Man City. You would really expect them to make quite a lot of tackles.
Yeah, they've just not looked. I mean, they were poor at the beginning of last season and obviously went on to be wonderful. So I wouldn't take too much from this, but it's not a brilliant Spurs team.
No.
You'd be hoping for 3 points if you were City today, even with not your favourite 11 out, even with a few people, not having quite the fitness you'd want.
Oh, Gundo looks like he's waving over to the... Is he waving to the bench there, Seb? He's holding his shoulder, Gundogan.
Oh, you might have jumped ahead of me. I've not seen it. Oh, yeah, he's down holding his shoulder.
He puts his arm up in the air like that, and I wonder if that's...
He's still down.
He doesn't look happy. He's rolling on the floor, holding his left shoulder. And we saw a shoulder injury with Ziyech on Wednesday night in the Super League.
I don't think, hard to tell, right? But based on the concern for Gundogan, or not, from everyone else around, I hope it's not too serious. So I don't know if he will have dislocated or anything. He may have just fallen heavily.
Oh, wow. Look at that atmosphere. That's the wall. Nice. That's the stand behind the goal, I think, which is only one single tier, and that's one of the 4 stands is a single tier at Spurs, and it's behind one of the goals. They were influenced. The influence came from, I think, Dortmund, the Dortmund wall, which has got a similar sort of look and feel.
That's full time. Tottenham Hotspur have beaten Man City.
I tell you what, Nuno, you might have been 24th choice, but your first game as Spurs manager, and you've only gone and won it. Against the champions.
Here's one for you. I feel like, obviously I know people considered Son, but I feel like because it was Man City first, a lot of people disregarded the rest of Spurs and probably even Son. And I don't have Son, so I'll include myself there too. Now they have Wolves away, Watford at home, Crystal Palace away, then Chelsea and Arsenal, although Arsenal, then Villa at home, Newcastle away, and that takes us up to game week 9, which is West Ham away. Man United after that, and then some pretty decent fixtures again.
Yeah.
Do you maybe look at those fixtures and think, I should think about some Spurs players?
I need to see more of Nuno. And Nuno at Wolves often got results against the likes of Man City. But certainly last season at Wolves, his teams didn't score a huge amount of goals, especially against weaker opposition. And I want to see this Spurs team play... Well, the next couple of weeks will be a great test. I want to see how many goals they're going to score. My thinking with Spurs a couple of weeks ago was, if I'm going to buy a Spurs player, it's going to be a defender. And I actually had Eric Dyer in my draft... Not in my drafts, on my watch list and in my team for quite a while. And you'll know, those of you that saw I did a premium videos with Az, I had Dyer in my starting 11 there on the Scout YouTube channel.
Well, they've got Romero to come in, who's a very good defender.
Who I think will play with Dyer. I think it'll be Sanchez that misses out, but it'll be interesting.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I'd be actually really surprised if Sanchez is a starter, but maybe he'll prove me wrong. He's played well today, Sanchez. But yeah, Romero got the MVP award, which they do in Serie A for every position. So last season, he was Serie A's MVP defender. He beat a lot of competition to win that award. Like the centre-backs in Serie A, to win that award, you're going to be doing things.
I guess the one thing with him is going from a very, very specific system with Atlanta's, the high press, and it's just crazy. Basically, if you look at his, if you look at any Atlanta's players' numbers, they're crazy. Yeah. But Romero was right up there for pressures one, obviously involvement as well, tackles. I wonder if the Tottenham defensive style will be different. Obviously, he's going to have to adapt to that. He's still a great defender, so you'd think he can.
Yeah,
but it is a different style, so maybe there'll be a little bit of betting in there.
Yeah, exactly that. I think you're right. I don't actually think he even starts the next game. I think after today, Sanchez and Dyer have kept a clean sheet against Man City. You probably just give them the nod again. Just because they've spent 50 million on him doesn't mean he's straight in the 11, especially, with a new country, new league, new system, new manager, new teammates, new language. So definitely one to keep an eye on. I think Reguilon at 5 million as well is one to keep an eye on. He was in and amongst the bonus points. It looks like he's got 1 bonus point, so I'm going to confirm that. Currently, we've got Lloris on for 3 on our graphic. Lloris on 28, Son on 27. And then I've got Dyer, Reguilon and Mendy, which is accurate for the graphic as well, all on for 1.
Yep. And I think the FBL site updates a bit quicker now than it used to. So there's every
Yeah.
chance that's relatively accurate. By the way, how good is live league updates? I know they're not quite live, but not having to wait until 3 a.m. or something to see how your league is going is quite fun.
Yeah, I enjoy that a lot because the first thing we all do, right, is check our mini leagues to see
Oh
what
yeah.
our rivals are doing.
When the game obviously went live on Friday night, I know you were at Fest, so maybe you didn't quite do this, but I was just clicking through everyone in my leagues, looking at their teams, everyone's work teams, seeing what they've done, seeing how they pick better teams than me.
And were they showing, Seb, at like 35 minutes past 6? Could you do that?
I looked a little bit later, so I can't confirm how early it was, but it was definitely in the first half of the Brentford Arsenal match.
Yeah, because in years gone by, we've waited a long time to see that stuff. So it probably wouldn't be till that evening or late that night. Wicked, guys. We're gonna love you and leave you. It's been brilliant chatting. It's been a good game. It's been a great second half. Well done, Spurs. Well done, Son owners. There's quite a few Son owners out there. If you've got Mahrez, really intrigued to see what you do now. You're not going to sell him for Norwich, but I don't think you're going to want to captain him now. And maybe look to sell from game week 3. I think it will be a lot of what's Pep going to do. Pep Roulette will come into full force by game week 3. I've no doubt about that. But it's been brilliant watching. Please, it's been brilliant. Not watching, we've been talking alongside you, having you guys with us, being active in the chat, doing the polls. We'll perhaps do more of them. Seb, thank you for joining me as well. Did you enjoy
thank you
the
for having
first
me,
game?
mate.
Did you enjoy the first weekend of the Premier League season? It's nice to be back, isn't it?
I did actually. Obviously, my team got battered by Manchester United, but that happens. I didn't expect us to win. I kind of don't really care about the scoreline. It won't define our season. I thought the rest of the weekend, from an FBL perspective, of course, it sounds like a lot of people got around about 100 points. So, of course, we're going to feel good about that.
Yeah.
But I thought there was some decent football on show. And you know what I really love about this time of the season, especially with FBL, because not going to lie, one of the big reasons I like the Premier League is because of FBL. But what I like now is that even with, say, a Son or a Ben Rama, a player I didn't choose and has scored, and especially Ben Rama, I made the wrong choice there with Buendia. I don't feel like, oh no, I went Buendia, it's all over. I didn't go Ben Rama, I've lost points. What I quite like is I watch matches and go, well, Ben Rama looked good, Son looked useful. You take little things away from them and can add that to your decision making in the future. In the last 10 game weeks of the season, that's kind of all gone, and it's about just getting returns. But right now, I guess a bit like a real team, right? It's not about results, it's about performance.
Yeah.
Looking at Ben Rama, I'm like, okay, I've missed out on some points, but I really like the look of him, and that's cool. I like that feeling.
Yeah, I do too. Scouting is just the best, and we all get to do that with FPL. And I'm the same as you, Seb. I love the Premier League, but I love it way more because of FPL. And I've noticed since I've really been fixated on FPL, I watch less Italian football, which I hate admitting to and saying. But yeah, it's real. I don't play the Italian version. Maybe that's something to pick up for Scout, because I know they've started doing Bundesliga stuff. Maybe they'll do the Serie A stuff.
The Bundesliga one is good fun as well, as long as you captain Lewandowski every week.
Yeah. Or maybe Haaland every now and then.
True.
So guys, we will be with you throughout the season, and I'm delighted to have our new shiny graphics, and I hope to build an audience on this channel for certainly the watch-alongs for these videos. So please do join us every week. I'm going to be doing a team reveal with Az every week. So tune into that, which will be midweek. You'll remember I did it with Andy last season, so this will be just as good with Az. Really excited about that. And I'll be doing watch-alongs every weekend, mostly with Seb, but sometimes with other guys as well. We'll always pick one fixture, often on a Sunday, but not always. And Seb's also on Scoutcast, not just Scoutcast match days. So Seb, when can we see you on Scoutcast?
Tuesday evenings, roughly about 8 p.m.
Excellent. Good stuff. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We will be back next weekend. Do please subscribe if you don't already. And also just drop something in the comments. Not the chat, but in the comments. As well as the chat maybe. But let us know if you like the video.